here. And as much as can be made of the team's early struggles, you played an excellent team today in New York. Did a really good job of holding Sabrina, but John Bell had 34 points. What makes her so difficult for this team to guard, especially tonight?
First of all, she's shooting very well. So, when we go into making scouting reports and this and that, it's kind of like, what are you willing to live with? She's been shooting with three, but I thought, Saab getting downhill really hurt us. Their guards getting downhill, we couldn't keep people in front, and then that put us in rotations. So it's not just the threes, it's the beautiful looking threes that they got. Those are horse shots. But it all starts with the person guarding the ball. And she's been shooting it well. As a team, they're actually not shooting it as well as they normally do. But Saab, JJ, and the Fevich kid, they can really shoot it, and they've been shooting it well. And I just, down the line, player for player, we were not very good defensively tonight.
You sort of talked about all this season, the defense isn't where you guys want it to be. You started learning every game certain things, but what do you sort of take away that you guys will have to improve on defensively?
Staying disciplined. 40 minutes is a very, very long time in this game of basketball, and you have to stay disciplined no matter who you're playing. And I feel like we had some mental lapses where we were very undisciplined, and we can't do that. And that trickles down to other things. It trickles down to on the offensive end for us. So we have to just stay disciplined for 40 minutes, and that's hard. But that separates the good from the great. That separates the want to, the will, to just like half-assing. So that's what we have to continue to harp on, and it starts with me, and I take a lot of accountability when it comes to being on the defensive end, because I have to be more present for my guards. I have to be more present just for everyone on the court as much as I can. So it's hard, but I'm never going to back down from a challenge, and I love that. So I'm going to step up to the plate next game and not only welcome it for myself, but for my team as well. We got to stay disciplined in that.
Asia, speaking of next game, you called Seattle a super team the last time you guys faced each other. How do you want to attack them the second time around?
Just more defensive minded, honestly. They have a great roster, obviously, with the newcomers that they have. And they're really playing good basketball right now. So for us, we have to just find our niche, find who we want to be. I feel like we see a lot of glimpses of the Aces, and then we see some glimpses of, I don't know what Aces spell backwards is, but it's that. And so we can't have that. So going into Seattle, we really have to buckle in on the defensive end and then let everything else flow. They're going to be nights where we might not shoot great. There's going to be nights where we shoot incredible. But the defensive side is what we can always control. So going into that game, like I said, I'm just going to be more mentally, defensively tuned in, and then the rest will flow.
Coach, in the third quarter, I believe, New York went on a 14-0 run. What was the message in the huddle to keep the team engaged?
Shouldn't be much of a message. 14-0 should be enough message.
I was about to say, that's a message as a whole.
That should be a message in itself. I think I was talking about discipline, though, during that run. I came in and talked about how just we're all over the map defensively. We look unorganized. We look undisciplined. We look.
Not us.
And you see different stretches of it, but I see 8 different Aces teams within the length of a 40-minute game. We're amazing, balls popping one possession, and then we're just ISO one-on-one. Let's watch somebody go make a play the next. And there's just zero consistency. Zero. And I could sit here and be like, oh, this is our 6th game in, 11 days, which it is. All right, what about LA and Phoenix and those earlier ones? That's why you can't drop those. You got to beat teams that you're supposed to beat. And we're not. We're not a very good team because we have zero consistency. And if you want to be good, you have to be consistent.
Asia, you've never shied away from taking accountability, as you just did. If I may ask, in saying what you just said, is it right off the game that you look at something like today and say something I could have done on the court, something in practice, something vocal? What do you look at yourself? Because there are times we're watching and seeing the best player in the world. What do you feel you need to do defensively? Is it at practice, leading your team, or is it you personally on the court?
It's a mixture of both. It's everywhere. I put myself out there on the front because I don't want my teammates, and here I go about to cry because I love them so much. It's hard. It's really, really hard. And I don't even know why I'm crying. But I love my teammates so much that I will take any hit from them. Good, bad, ugly. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great. It looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate because that's how I get the best out of my team. So when it comes to wins, losses, when I tell you I break this game down piece by piece because I don't want to be great for you guys. No offense. But I want to be great for my team. I want to be great for this franchise. It is hard as shit. It is hard as shit because there's tons of people that want to break you down. Great teams in this league that are going to try to come after you every single night. But when it comes to taking accountability, I have no problem in that because I want to be great. I want to be great for my teammates. So yes, it can start in practice. Yes, it starts in training camp. Yes, it starts in the wins and the losses. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to challenge myself and my teammates every single day. Because when you're talking about greatness, it starts with consistency. Everybody can be good here and there, but who can be great every single game, every possession? And that's what I'm striving for. And it's hard as shit. I promise y'all, it's hard as shit. But promise you, I'm not going to back down. So it starts with me, and it's going to always be with me because I have 11 other women in that locker room that I need to pull greatness out of. So that's where it goes from. If it's talking more, is it trying to fly on the court? Is it being a defensive presence? I'm going to be that every single day for my team because I want them to be great, not just for rings and banners, because I know the potential that we have in the locker room. So it starts everywhere with me, and I'm going to take that challenge every single day and going out there, and y'all going to still see me smiling and dancing because I never want anyone to see us break. And obviously, I'm crying now breaking, but it's a part of it, and I want you guys to see this. This shit's hard. I'm not going to sit up here and act like it's roses. It's hard, but I'm not going to back down ever. Yeah.
Got two more here. Well done.
Coach, what's your response to, Asia breaking down and, how did she push you to be a better coach?
Oh man, me and AA talk a lot. We talk a lot. I know how much she cares. I talk about it a lot, just who she is as a person and as a leader. So losing, she could care less. She would rather average 12 and 10
And
and win. She would rather do that. I'm telling you right now, that's who she is. She's been playing amazing, but we have not in this, and I tell them that, I tell it to their face right now, we don't have an edge.
Yeah.
And we have not had it since day one in training camp, and I've felt it, and I've tried to address it, but we're not that hungry.
Yeah.
And so, the mistakes, because it's like plugging holes in a dam. It's like you fix this then, and then this hole pops over here, and then you plug that hole, and now this hole pops over there. I think there's a lot of, obviously, nobody likes losing in that locker room. That's a given. Okay, nobody likes it. But we're the only ones that can do anything about it as well. So, the element of being tired and this and that, that's real. I'll buy that. But it's no excuses for the earlier losses, like, what are we now at home? 3-4 or something like that? What is it?
34.
Yeah, 3 or 4. We lost one game here last year. One. And, we can sit here and say, oh, we don't have Chelsea. And there is an element of that. Obviously, there's an element of that because it's like everything's interconnected, right? Like it's like a body. Like, how can you press something in my foot and release pressure in my neck? It's like, and so when, conversely, whether you're talking about defense and offense, obviously we know we can control the defensive end more at times than offensively. But like when you're missing shots and you're constantly in transition and you're constantly just backpedaling, it gets hard. And conversely, okay, now we weren't very efficient offensively. Now our defensive efficiency starts to go down because, there's just, it's like a snowball effect. And that's where Chelsea helps because, she's somebody who knows how to stop the bleeding, when to stop the bleeding, how. And so getting her back and her presence is real. I mean, we're playing against teams that, we're a fine-tuned ecosystem. And so you take an ingredient or two out, it kind of trickles in the whole group. But we still have enough. I don't want to make it an excuse for Chelsea. There's enough, believe me. They played without their point guard too, so there's no excuses here. It is what it is. We're not a very good team right now. And you can talk about potential and talent all day long. Great. We have that. We don't play together collectively as a group, defensively or offensively right now.
Becky, you talked about efficiency and consistency. You and Asia both did. Offensively, 3-point shooting obviously is a big part of this game. For New York, they pretty much hit everything. You guys, you did hit 6 threes at the end of the game. For a better part of this game, 3-point shooting was difficult. Are there any tweaks or changes that you can look at yourself and your coaching staff as far as addressing things offensively for a 3-point shooting game for this team?
I mean, we, for sure, I don't think we've had, I don't think besides Asia, anybody's just playing super great. I don't think KP's happy. She played well, shot well today. I don't think Jackie's overall happy with how she's performed. Yeah, she had a great game the other night. But, after that, those other little pieces, come into play a little bit. It starts to get too much to ask on the big three. We got to fill in the holes a little bit better. I mean, they can only do so much, right? But we haven't shot well. We haven't. We're missing open threes. I have to think that worm will turn. It typically always does. But how do we score? How do we move the ball? And how do we get, like I said, there's moments today where it was like, oh, there we are. And then it's like, nope. Back to standing, when the ball doesn't move, it's because the body stopped moving. Body and ball movement are very, very connected. And it's like, we'll go down and we'll make these bang, 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 wide open three, and then completely go away from it.
Mhm.
Like, why? You know how you have to play. You know what works. You know what it takes, what plays, how you have to play. And, and I told them, I'm like, playing the right way, it's not a suggestion, it's mandatory. And it gets a little bit deflating because you play the right way, bang, 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 wide open three, and then clank. It's like, so yeah. But let's have those moments more often than not. Let's not see them, 10 times a game and then not see it for the other, 30 minutes. So I think right now there's a lot of frustration, obviously, in the locker room. And we're having a tendency to go inward when things get hard and just someone tries to do it themselves and get it all back in one. It's like, and that's where you miss the Chelsea, where it's like, all right, hold on, like, calm down. We're going to run this. And then, you dissect it and you take what the defense is giving you. But there's no doubt we have a lot of work to do defensively. And then, we start playing that into the floor, and then I'll talk to you guys about offense. But until we start acting like we care, you could say you care all the time. Show me you care. Middle drives, come off strong side, I could go down the list of like no-nos that we're doing every game. And so we're not very good even in our base defense. So forget about jump and grab up. Like we can't even guard one-on-one with 5 people and be like a good unit to watch defensively. I thought their activity with their deflections, even if they didn't get to steal, their deflections was disruptive today. And I bet if we went back and counted deflections, Nikias, did you count deflections?
He's not on.
Oh, he's not on. What happened? No. There's that. I bet they had a lot more activity than we did defensively with getting their hands on pieces of the ball.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.